Hey, welcome into Cross My Heart Ministry. I'm Lauren McFarland. We are recording on my computer using my laptop, so I'm learning a new little bit of technology. I want to apologize in advance for the difference in quality. Left my camera behind when I traveled last weekend, but we'll get it back. But in the meantime, we'll still bring the content to you that we had planned to for today's Martha Monday. Well, it is Father's Day week, and so we wanted to bring some ideas for you this week and how you can honor the dad or the granddad in your life. Ours is a ministry to women. Cross My Heart Ministry exists. You probably know this, to encourage women to love God and to love His Word. But this week, as women or as grandmothers, we're going to share some ideas for you to release encouragement and blessing to the men in your life, the fathers or the grandfathers. And I've got 10 ideas that might involve some creativity, some little craft projects. If you've got kiddos around, kids or grandkids, you can get them involved. The great thing about the ideas I want to share is that they really don't cost any money. And aren't those the gifts that we as women, and I'm sure the husbands and dads in your life, will love as well? Those that don't cost money, that put more time and effort and thought, those are the ones that are cherished and treasured. Truly, love is often spelled L-O-V-E. And so as we think about Father's Day, we think about honoring Dad. I want to remind you that our Write the Word bookmark this month is on the word honor, and that's where we're focusing in. So I want to ask you to come back on Friday and check out our teaching video, highlighting one of these verses each week. If you haven't yet started writing the Word with us, there's a link below to our Write the Word bookmark for the month of June, and it explains all about how that works, but we don't encourage you to be women of the Word. But for today, we think about the dads. You know, fatherhood and dads have come on some hard times. You may disagree with me about that, but as I have watched sitcoms and things on television and social media, it just feels a little bit like there's some men or some dad bashing going on. And dads are often the brunt of the jokes in some of the sitcoms that are out there. And so I just want to encourage you to guard against any of those attitudes creeping into your family. As women of God, we want to be women who raise our children to honor their dads and raise our children to grow up honoring all people and others. But this week, we're talking about honoring dads. Now, you may have already bought Dad maybe a t-shirt to his favorite sports team, or you may have already planned to take him out for his favorite barbecue dinner, or maybe you've bought steaks and baked potatoes and you're going to grill out at home. But if you want to add a little extra something to his day to make it special, here are 10 ideas. So here we go. Number 1 is to make an acrostic for Dad. And so with an acrostic, you take the letters of his name and spell out adjectives that would describe him. So for example, my husband's name is Kevin. So if I were using K-E-V-I-N to describe my husband, I would say K is for kind, and E is for easygoing, V is for valiant, I is for insightful, and N is for noble. So if you need help coming up with some adjectives, there's a really cool website out there called www.adjectivesstarting.com. So you can go there and put in the letters that you need if you need help, but it will be really fun. You might get a lot of giggles with your kids or grandkids as you come up with adjectives to describe the dad or the granddad in your life. So that's number 1. You might incorporate that acrostic into a Father's Day card. You might make a poster, whatever, but it will be special for Dad for you to do that. That's number 1. Number 2 is to create a coupon book for Dad. My granddaughter, Julia Grace, did this at school for her mom for Mother's Day, and her mom loved it, and Julia Grace loved sharing that with her and reading each one of those. So when you make a coupon book for Dad or for Granddad, it can include things like helping to take out the trash or to mow the grass or to weed the flower bed. And depending upon your dad and your situation, you'll come up with other chores that Dad would appreciate help with, some helpers completing those chores or just having them taken care of. So that's number 2, create the coupon book. And you might the children might want to add some pictures or some coloring things, and just to really make that special. Number 3 is to serve Dad breakfast in bed. Now, who doesn't love breakfast in bed? And if you're going to do it for the man in your life, you might as well go big or go home, right? Do the bacon and the eggs. You got to have the meat in there, the biscuits and juice and the muffins or whatever, but make it special to do that breakfast in bed. And if you do the acrostic, You could even put that on the tray when you carry it in for his breakfast. Number 4 is to wash and wax his car. If the man in your life is like the man in my life, before he was a dad and when he was single or a newlywed, he really took pride in taking care of his car. My husband never let his car get dirty. He washed his car, he waxed his car, he cleaned the hubcaps. But as time goes on and life gets full, that's just one of those things that it's hard to make time to do. So why not go ahead and wash and wax Dad's car for him and do it upright? Do the inside as well as the outside. Vacuum the car, clean off the mats, get the Windex and clean the windows. Do all that. Don't forget the hubcaps. He will love and appreciate having a car that just feels clean and new and looks fabulous. Number 5 is to create a scavenger hunt with clues for Dad to follow to find his gifts. So if you bought him something or you've made him a card, that sports t-shirt I was talking about, don't just hand it to him. Make him work a little bit, and it will be fun to have him do this. This is an idea I kind of pulled from something we did with our kids on Christmas Eve a few years ago. We created these clues, and they had a little scavenger hunt to find their gifts, and it was so fun. And so here are some of the clues sort of adapted from what we did with our kids. Number 1, you can tell him to add up the 2-digit birth year of each of his children and then divide by how many children he has. And whatever the answer is, to go to his favorite book and look up the page number, and that's where the clue will be found. Now, that's a little complicated, but we actually included that clue when we created a scavenger hunt. Number 2 is to go look under the container that contains the cow juice. And, of course, that would be the milk in the fridge, so you can touch the clue up underneath there. Number 3 is a clue that might say, these two work together in sync when the water falls. And that would be the windshield wipers. And so you could tuck the clue under the windshield wipers in his car. You could even get really creative and make a little rhyme. So here's one I came up with. It's fluffy and white. It holds your head at night. Look underneath to get your next clue in sight. And of course, that clue would be under Dad's pillow in his bed. So the clues and the ideas to do that can be silly. They can be endless, but you get the kids talking and sharing, and they'll come up with some creative ways to come up with clues for Dad to have to solve. And it makes it an activity and makes it all the more fun. The next one will be to find a Bible verse that describes your dad. And you could have the children write that out with their best handwriting and maybe add some pictures around the edge to decorate it up really pretty. They could use colored pencils or colored markers or crayons or whatever, but just create a masterpiece. Dad might even want to frame that, take it to his office or put it on the refrigerator door, who knows. And if you're really computer savvy, Mom could help and everyone could learn a new skill. If you go to the website called Canva, canva.com, they have a free version where you can do lots of creative things. There's a premium version you have to pay for, but truly you can print out all sorts of different sizes. We created a couple printouts for you in Canva with some Bible verses displayed for you. So this one is Colossians 3:17 is the Bible verse we chose. And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. So we did this on a full 8x10. You could do this on maybe a half sheet and create it, print it on the side so that when you open it up, it creates a card. So there's one idea. Here's Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we'll receive a harvest if we don't give up. And then there's one from Proverbs 27 about the righteous man and walks in integrity, and blessed are his children after him. Maybe you know what Dad's favorite verse is, and you can incorporate that into some sort of a graphic. We are including these as an attachment below, so you can get the link and print these off if you want to use these and incorporate them into a poster or do something fun with them, or just get that idea. But making a Bible verse might be a really precious treasure for your dad. Number 7 is to plan a family movie night for your dad or granddad. Who doesn't love family movie night? And so you want to choose one that you know he will love, one that's suitable for the entire family. Of course, you want to make sure you have the popcorn, the root beer floats, or what have you. And you might create an invitation for him that you could even get on the internet and download the billboard graphic for that movie so that it's all in there with the date and the time. You might do it on that Sunday night, or or leave it open-ended, and he gets to choose the night when you're going to have family movie night. So a couple of my husband's favorites that if you haven't watched or you haven't seen in a long time, would include The Incredibles. Love that as a family movie because all the family works together. Apollo 13, if you're married to an engineer, the nerdy engineers are the heroes in Apollo 13 that get those astronauts home. So that's always been one of our favorites. And of course, any of the Star Trek movies, any of the Star Wars movies, those are all fabulous. So if there's a movie that you would like to suggest to everyone else here, then let us know what that is in the comments below, and maybe others would get an idea to use for their family movie night. Number 8 is to create a candy bar bouquet. And so candy bar bouquet is just what it sounds like. You use candy bars, attach them to dowel rods. If you go to Pinterest and search candy bar bouquet, you'll see a picture of what we're talking about. But you can add a little note to each one, and you can get creative with the names of the candy bars. So you might say, Dad, you're worth more than 100 grand to us. Or Dad, we can always count on you in a crunch. So you kind of get the idea. A little cheesy, but certainly fun, and everybody loves chocolate. Number 9 is to make a photo book. And it would be fun to sort of have that go down through the years and have a picture for each year that Dad has been a father. And he will love that trip down memory lane to remember all those different years with his kiddos. That might take some work to dig those out of the photo albums, but that would certainly be a treasure that he would love to hold on to for years to come. And then number 10, I've given you a top 10, so number 10 is to make your own top 10. Maybe just make a poster or a card that lists the top 10 things that you love most about your dad or your granddad. So I hope that one of these ideas has inspired you to make Father's Day really special, to honor the dad in your life, to get very creative in how you do that. But I just pray that you and your family would make Father's Day special, that you truly honor the dad in your family. And if you've got another idea for a special family tradition that you do, that you'd like to share with our viewers, we'd love for you to leave that in the comments section below. So in the meantime, thanks for spending this time with us. I hope you have a blessed Father's Day. And even if you don't have children, if there's a man in your life that has been like a father, if you've got nieces or nephews, that's also something that you could do. You've been like a father to me. You have invested in the next generation. Maybe he's been a mentor or a Sunday school teacher, and he's invested in nieces and nephews. This is also a great day to lean into those who have been like a father to neighborhood kids or family members or others in his life. So let's not forget those that have been father figures to others. So hope you have a blessed Father's Day. Thanks so much for spending this time with us. For Cross My Heart Ministry, I'm Laura McFarland.